All right, hold on. Let me make sure things are working. Now I want to make sure this is the actual stream, because last time I tried this, some reason it read it like it went to like a different stream. So let me just take a look. All right, looks like it. Perfect. All right. Just turn down the music a little bit. What's up, Hasio28? What's up, Hasio28? I heard a lot of ringing in the background, so I'm just making sure it's not just my. I heard a lot of ringing in the background, so just there we go. There we go. There we go. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know you're gonna hear my loud voice, but it's all right. How's it going? Yeah, you said never. You said not much. I had to turn off my fan a bit, but I'm gonna turn back on. I just need to balance. I just need to balance the music. That's all I need to do. So if you still hear like a little bit of the fan, do let me know if my I turned down the music a little bit. Do let me know if the fan sound is overcoming my voice. I'm sure it's not. If it is, do let me know. I don't want that to happen. All right, so from the looks of things, it sounds like you can hear me well. Okay. And it looks like the Wi-Fi status is full. Perfect. It has a little three-way signals, or three like signal levels. So like if it's a full green, it's active, it's alive, and I have no problems with it. But if it's low, then it's starting to go like this. It's starting to go, and it's like a little drop, and then it's at a 720p 30 frames per second. Bit rate about 17. I put it at 1771. All right, so what did you say here? You said been playing some Fate Extra through a emulator on the PC. You know how long it is since I heard the term emulator? That is like old emulators, man. I seen someone play like a GoldenEye 007 emulator on the PC. So that's what you've been playing? Yeah, bro. I've been just been playing Marvel's Avengers. And I think Marvel's Avengers is a really good game. It's all right in the middle. I don't know how I would describe or how I would review without revealing too many details, but for someone who was into Marvel and got into the Marvel Avengers movies, I say it did a pretty good job of characterizing the characters. Plus, we have an opportunity to play those characters like the Hulk, Smash. So I took the opportunity. Like I had this little side mission thing. Of course, it was a test mission, but I had the opportunity to say, I could play as the Hulk or this person. I was like, no, I'm gonna play the Hulk. And his entrance and everything. I like him, the Hulk, and being able to play him to smash stuff. It's that ultimate destruction. You know, my iPad has that little circular right there, so I have to look straight at that to know that to show you that I'm looking straight. That's just how it works. Now this wasn't like a pre-planned stream setup where you can create an event for the stream and then you can come back to it when the day and time is met. But this was just a spontaneous start the stream at this time thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if people weren't informed ahead of time exactly, like, except if they were on my server, exactly like what time I was going to be streaming. I'm not surprised. So the next time, which is why Wednesday I'm gonna do an art stream. So I'll be pre-planning that one so people will be informed ahead of time, at least the day prior, with all the information, thumbnail, everything set, and then they'll get to see me draw live. I'm gonna do like a pin drawing actually of some of my any number of my favorite RPG characters from like Final Fantasy and other RPGs that I like. Like just my number one favorites. Like I love Final Fantasy at the end of the day, so that's just my number one game. Number one game series, especially Final Fantasy 7. So I know that I'm gonna be talking about different things. I got like a little drink here, so let me get a drink real quick. Powerade. Be like that music, like, well, I am blessed. Having a blessed day. Having a blast. A blast day. Having a blessed day. There we go. So what I want to talk about today, different things are running in my mind, so to start with, I want to kind of, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to give an update on the fire situation out here in Cali. Because I live in California, and there's a lot of fires that are going on around the different counties and the different sections or sectors of California. Now, the great news is that, well, I'm not really near. Well, two good news is, one, there have been some, because it's important to understand, because I was doing research, what does it mean when they say, like, 50 to 100% containment? Containment doesn't mean the fire is completely extinguished. It just means that they were able to create a perimeter Usually using some dirt, soot. Like they have like some way to surround the perimeter of a fire. And so if it's contained, let me see if I can change some of the music a little bit. 'Cause I got like some no copyright music, so I'm gonna like, play it in the background. Oh wait, no. Where's my favorite one? There's one I really like. Here we go. Digital Memories by Unicorn Heads. So it just means that how much of the perimeter where the fire is taking place is being covered. So it's not like the fire is completely extinguished. So, you know, I've seen like one video or show where they show like these two individuals, like just citizens, like they took like these shovels and they were putting like some dirt and stuff around like these edges where they saw the fire was starting to expand, and it slowed it down. And it's also to hopefully be sure that there's no, as long as there's no what you call flare-ups, like some fires like shooting out of it and then landing on the other side of the containment. Then you got a containment breach, in my opinion. But that's what it means. So if it's there's two big ones that got like 96 or 98% containment. So that means they were able to maintain all of the fire in that huge area. They got it completely surrounded. It's not going to expand any further. It's going to keep burning in that area, but that's about it. And sometimes I learned that sometimes a fire can it can settle under like ground and stuff. Like it can still sizzle a little bit, but then rise back up. Like it's not like all the fire can be all the fire is extinguished. So it's a lot of work, however, because there's so much fires. So they're just focusing on containment right now, which makes sense. They just want to contain it so it doesn't spread any further outside the forest or anywhere. I wanted to share that little fact. But that's what we're dealing with right now out here in California. I'm in an area where right now in my area, we're actually getting some blue sky. And I can tell you can hear me because you haven't said, "Oh, I can't hear you." Like I know you can hear me. My voice was loud when I was testing it, so. But and we started seeing the sunlight. Sometime it eventually gets to a point where I don't know if you've seen the news or not. If you've seen a little bit of the news, but they had like a lot of smoke in the air. And some places had it where it was like orange sky. We actually had an orange sky like about 2-3 days ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like we literally had that type of sky. Yeah, thank you for the checkup. Yeah, so like I know that you hear people say like this is apocalyptic. Like well, you can imagine if you play a game Fallout. They had like nuclear-like weather. You got to wear the suit. You got to wear the nuclear suit, so then you won't get any rads. It gives like a +1 or +2 to rad. I think like a +1 each time where there's a nuclear thunder clap. So like, but yeah, that's what it is. So we're getting slightly clear skies right now in my area. But we had like some grayish skies for a few, just for several days now. Yeah. It's really saddening what's happening in various parts of the country now. So many fires and hazardous smoke, like the air quality in certain places that are more closer to those fires. Because I'm glad we're not that close to any of the fire. I checked. Praise God. We're not that close. But put rest to the souls of those, and protection for those. I pray for protection of those out there that are near those places because they got the worst air quality. There's like a government website that shows you like the air quality index. It's that deep. It's that deadly. Yeah, it's like yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Trying to think of something real quick. Yeah. No, I was just remembering, like, okay, I know I put keywords in my, yeah, I remember I put keywords in my, okay, because in the stream you put like tags, so I'm making sure that I put tags in there. I'm sure I did. Yeah, yeah. I got the thumbnail and everything else, but I'm sure I put tags in there. If not, I would have to put a stop to the stream, keep it there, but then come back. So I would have to check, but it's okay. I'll leave it. I don't know. I got my Instagram. uh, yeah. So definitely fires, man. I know, like, for different places, like, there's the tropical weather, hurricanes, tsunamis, several weathers going on. I got some other thoughts about that I'll share a little bit later. But one of the things I wanted to also talk about is gaming and what I'm playing currently. So this is gaming talk and a lot of other things. So that was just the news a little bit on the fires. Now, I don't know how things are going right now. I know they were dealing with a creek fire, which was like further down south from where I am, probably like southeastern segment, and that one they were really that one was spreading like wildfire, like that was spreading fast, and they were having really difficulty with that one. So you can imagine, like, a lot of fires are, and even many citizens are really doing their best to contain the fires. And air quality really sucks for many places. There goes my Nightbot actively. Say, feel free to share your favorite games, moments, characters, genres, and more at any time. This is a space that's all about sharing your passions for video games, lore, and more. I said, She sells seashells by the seashore. Tongue twisters. She sells by the seashore. Or how much would a woodchuck chuck wood? I don't even know if you heard me what I said there. But I learned to say that one fast. But trying to say it like 7 or 6 times real fast, it's like, whoa. So we're going to talk about video games for a bit. So I've been playing Marvel's Avengers. As briefly mentioned, I said I kind of thought the game was good. It was great for me. I think for me, as a fan of the Marvel Avengers movies, and then kind of like some Marvel characters and stuff, I'd say it was really fun to play it. I had the honor and duly modesty. No, just kidding. I don't even know what I just said there. And the enjoyment and the gratitude to actually have an opportunity to try out this game for myself. And I believe the game is really excellent. I think now your protagonist, but the basic summary is you're playing as someone named Kamala Harris, and the premise of the game is basically because you have the Avengers, but an incident occurs near the beginning of the game that leads to the Avengers separation, and it's been years. Because you start off as playing a little bit of Kamala Harris as a kid, and then it's been years, and then you play as her as she's like a young teenager or an adult or young adult or something, maybe like teenager perhaps. But she's gotten powers, and you find out why. Like from the beginning, you find out how she got powers because it's an incident that takes place that the Avengers get blamed for and everything, and it leads to their separation mainly because of one member testifies and kind of speaks as though like, yeah, we're a risk and yeah, cause separation. So you'll have to see. Yeah, I'm gonna be posting up a walkthrough later, and it's a no commentary, so you won't hear me talking. I don't mind talking during a walkthrough. I just decided to try this out without talking. But I will doing some more. I'll do some commentary-based walkthroughs later on, depending on the games I'm playing. I did look at a roster of new games on the PlayStation Store that I'm willing to play, but all that stuff. What do you say? Sounds like Overwatch, like what happened with the whole situation in Overwatch, where they used to be a group, an incident occurs, there was a conflict, and they were involved. An incident occurs where, excuse me, no, that was accident. An incident occurs where I don't think, their base wasn't destroyed completely, but an incident occurs, and many of them got separated, and everything. So it's like, what else is there? So like in Marvel's, so like when it comes to Overwatch and Marvel's Avengers, the difference is what kind of conflict it was. Because in Marvel's Avengers, yeah, that was a different conflict. Once you see it in a walkthrough, you'll see what it was about. Because in Marvel's Avengers, it's much different. Marvel's Avengers came before Overwatch, by the way, it's not like Overwatch. Nah. Maybe the disbanding thing or the separation might sound like it, but that can be almost any story. So you could say it's similar. It could be a similar story at least, but I wouldn't think it sound like Overwatch when you think about the incident. Someone said, "Hello, Monkey Nod." Says, "Can you please talk about Bitcoin?" Well, I'm mainly right now just talking about Marvel's Avengers and stuff, some game stuff right now. I'm not too familiar with the whole Bitcoin situation, so I don't really have any thoughts on that right now. So, yeah, so sorry. I don't really know too much about the Bitcoin thing. I heard about it a long time ago, about Bitcoins. I remember taking a class where they talked about some Bitcoins, but yeah, I don't know about much of anything going on with Bitcoins these days, so it's just not been a topic I've been investing in or anything of that nature. But anyway, yeah, back to when I was playing Marvel's Avengers. I think it's just like I kind of felt like the combat was, I wouldn't say flawless. I think it was just like some basic stuff here and there. Other kind of stuff. So it's like I thought like maybe the combat was good. Yeah. So, oh, will I buy the Monkey Knot says, will you buy PS5? Yeah. The way we're gonna do it is we're gonna give it a few months. It's a certain strategy we do to manage costs and stuff. Manage costs and stuff is we give it like a few months, and then we're gonna get the PS5, or they get the next console. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can switch up the music real quick. Hold on. Got a selection of music. Where is it? Where is mine? There we go. Let's play that one for a bit. Yeah. I'm excited for Miles Morales. I want to play the next Spider-Man as Miles Morales. I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to that. I definitely want to try it for myself. That's what's up. A lot of, I noticed there's a trend with a lot of games these days. It's like you got like the remakes, remastered stuff. Remakes definitely keeps coming up. And then you got like the current way games are animated now. Even like in a game like Marvel's Avengers, like the animation, the motion cap. I think they did like, I don't know if they did like some mocap, motion capture. I'm not sure, but like definitely like the animation, the style of play, like the way it looks, how it carries out itself. It just looks spectacular to me. And there's always like a high. I kind of feel like there could be a high expectation for like remakes, because it's when you play the original something, and it's to be expected. You're gonna feel like you're gonna want to see if they have it where oh, welcome to the stream, by the way, Monkey Knot. How are you doing? I almost forgot to say that. I'm EXP, StoryGamerZ. You can check the schedule in my description, man. It'll tell you when I'm usually live streaming. But anyway, it's on my eye. But it's like, I don't know, I feel like remakes just kind of expand on that expectation from the original. Because when you play the original, and then you get these new ones that come to remake, it's like you want this original story to be there, the original characters to be there. They're going to be there, of course. But you still want the original story. You still want some similar experiences and features that you've had in the original. I've seen like different opinions about the Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, and I haven't played it yet. Well, my brothers did, but the thought I got from them is that, or not from him, from others, is like there are those who like it, and there are those who complain because of how short it was. Like it wasn't really that long for some people. But I haven't played it, so I can't really say I don't know about that. But I guess for some people liked it, some people didn't. It's gonna happen with any game. I'm thinking like it's a matter of opinion about like what you like. We all have our tastes, so I'm straight up RPG. But I still love action-adventure games. I'm liking to... There was someone I found on a blog that kind of said a similar thing. To best describe me is that I am an RPG enthusiast. I love RPGs, long playthrough type games through and through. Even though I got to make sure I make a lot of time so I can beat them, because I know it's going to take a lot of hours. Oh, but I can... But I still will play some regular adventure and action games. I can just tell you something, like, I do have to be careful, though, with some RPGs. Like, Skyrim and Fallout are the two RPGs, while I love them so much, I also understand one fact about myself. When I play those RPGs, I tend to side quest a lot. I just go side questing. I kid you not. I'm just side questing. I'm just doing side quests. And it just, turn out a little bit. It just, Um, I can get sidetracked easily because it's such an open world. You know what I mean? Open world sandbox RPG type games can be really difficult to beat. Like just complete in a couple hours. Why? Because you're sidetracked a lot. Like, well, for myself, I'm sidetracked. So for me, playing those games is really difficult for me if I'm trying to beat the game. Because how can I beat the game if I'm just easily going to side quests here and there? It can get me extra stuff. I can get some cool armor, some cool shields, cool weaponry. I can do all that. But if I'm not doing the main missions completely, it's gone. It's gone. Like, for real. I was just checking a little something because I got my, like I said, I got my Instagram, so I was just checking it out, seeing like some posts. But you know, it's like for real, like I am like to rate the story, turn it into a story out of this in a minute, but like there's so much to think about. I'm just listening to Beat of Legend of Dragoon. But open world RPGs are really my weakness, or well, not my weakness, but my disadvantage when it comes to trying to beat the main quest. I will not focus on the main quests. So, and it's one of those type of games that I would not want to live stream unless I'm just live streaming it for other fun stuff. You know what I mean? I know myself. If I were to live stream a game like that, I know I'm going to be on it for hours, for days. There's one of the reasons why I didn't want to live stream. There's a reason why I didn't live stream Ghost of Tsushima. Because I knew myself very well. I didn't want to take on this game that I know is open world to the point where I'm going to be sidetracked continually, and try to focus on main quest, but still sidetracked again, like, and keep going. It's easy for me to get distracted by get distracted by games like that. It's not like it's a bad thing. It's only when if I'm playing it myself on my own time, like what I'm doing with Ghost of Tsushima and a few other games, I can have fun with it and not really care if I beat the game right away. But if I know I'm gonna, if I was to try live stream that, I wouldn't, because I know I would be on it for days and days and days to months. There are some people who are willing to do that. I'm willing to think twice about doing that. So, unless I were streaming to do something else, then it's like, I'm like, let me see my Instagram. Like, let me see myself. I gotta edit my yeah, for some reason it didn't like get it. Let me try it again. Like, got it at a strange angle. I'm like, why did it do that? Do I have to do it like this? It's like, let me see. Yeah, it's too dark over here because of the lack of lighting. I'm like, look at me. I'm getting the photo while I'm streaming. This is not right. You know. But among other things, you know, I got a lot of good games that I got to play. But It's like, yeah, may not be a good way to do it on my phone. But I love Skyrim and Fallout. But I wouldn't want to stream them unless I'm doing like some fun little side stuff that I want to stream. Then I'd be okay with it. Or if I'm just like, hey, I'm doing some character creation, 'cause I like to mess around with that. Not too much, but I like to do that sometimes. Then I would be okay with it. So I've been looking at like different games that have been appearing on the PlayStation Store. Some games I'll mention. Some of them I have on the top of my head. Some of them I have to go back and take a look. So one of them is called Genshin Impact. That's coming out near the end of September. Yeah, Genshin Impact. What else is there? Like I said, There's one called Lucky Fox Tales. I've seen. It's a platform game. I've seen it. Side-scrolling or 3D move around platform type game. Other games, I can't really think of any other. There were others in that list. I know there's the what's wrong with picking up girls at a dungeon or can we pick up girls at a dungeon or something like that. That RPG. I know that one came out like I think in August or something this year. So I want to get that one. And then there's a couple others. Mostly I was just looking at like different RPGs that are out that are new. And then like some action adventures. Asia, don't be shy. Share what's on your mind. That was a good, timely rhyme. It's about that time. Don't worry, you ain't do the crime. I know I keep going, huh? Yeah, this is a live stream chat. Share what's on your mind. I know you said about the Fate Extra earlier, like, I know you're hearing me talk, but yeah, share what's on your mind. Live chatting session is I'm chatting with people, so I'm chatting, but then people can interact with me. So anything on your mind, feel free to share it. Like, is there any new games you're thinking of getting down the road? You're looking into? How's the SAO business going? The Fate stuff, the Bleach, Brave Souls. I wonder, are you still doing that gotcha stuff for BBS? Yeah, I like to hear what's going on with you as of late. And I played this one. I'm hearing the music from a rhythm game. I played this one rhythm game a long time ago. I had it on my iPad. It's called Citus. They had Citus 1, and later on they made Citus 2. I haven't played the sequel yet, but I got it. I just haven't touched it. So it's like I got like Citus, rhythm games, all that kind of stuff. There was one other rhythm game I used to play. Well, actually, you remember Dance Dance Revolution? I know they probably still have them at like arcades, especially in Japan. Dance Dance Revolution, those rhythm games. Bro, there are people in Japan really good at those games, especially the ones where you have to tap buttons fast. I could hardly do that. I mean, I could do the footwork, but when it comes to like really fast ones with footwork, it can be so hard for me. It can be really difficult. But there are people who know how to do it very well. Let me see what she said there. I'm not too good without something to bounce off of. Like, what do you mean? Like, without a subject to bounce off of? I don't know what you mean by that, because you've talked about different topics before, Haseo, so you've mentioned different topics about games, so I don't see what the problem is. Anything is fine. But um, yeah, you share different topics about games. So, is everything okay? Um, but I mean, it's okay if you're not sure what to talk about. But yeah, but whenever you have some topic of games or whatnot on your mind, let me know. Feel free to share them. It's fine. Um, I'm just trying to look at what other songs I have on here. Oh yeah, here's one of my favorites. Um, Here's one interesting topic, because I know you're into Overwatch. I haven't. Oh my gosh, I gotta check. Have they introduced any other new characters lately? I know there was Echo. That was the last one I saw that was implemented. But was there anyone else that came after Echo? Okay. And what did you say? Been mostly slowly working on weapon proficiency while doing daily quests. Wait. Been mostly slowly working on weapon proficiency while doing daily quests in SAO. Okay. Also enjoying my mobile games. What progress I make in the two Bleach games, as well as playing through the SAO. So progress I make in two Bleach games, as well as playing through the SAO and Overlord mobile game. Ah, there's an Overlord mobile game. Nice, nice. I don't know. I haven't played. You haven't played it in forever, huh? Well, I mean, like I know they've had videos on YouTube a lot, so I haven't been checking around on Overwatch in like a year or two now. Because I remember I used to. The one thing I remember about Overwatch was the toxicity problem, and how like there would be a ton of videos of people just playing the game, right, in competitive mode, having fun, and whether it's on the PC or even a console or anything. And you had people like acting very negative, saying so many negative things towards other people. Some even racist stuff. Like people just going in there saying all these negative things. It's like, why do you need to go and say stuff like that? Like, you're so upset, like for real. And that was one of the biggest. That was one of the many biggest issues with Overwatch that a lot of people were having. But they would document. They would just play those games, make the videos out of them, and then when they played, they would find like either it could be like one or two players in the team, or the entire team turning against them and saying all these negative stuff. I'm like, just some people act that way, you know. And it makes you wonder, is that how they are outside the game? I don't know. Some people might just do it for show. I don't know how they would feel if they were actually confronted in person by somebody. I don't know. But yeah, it's like it's a serious situation. But last character I saw, the Gauntlet guy, and last thing I heard about it was the Overwatch 2. Yeah, there was an Overwatch 2, and it said the Gauntlet guy. I think that was Doomfist. Because Echo came after Doomfist, but yeah. If the Gauntlet guy is Doomfist, okay. If it's a different Gauntlet guy, I'll find out. But yeah, you had like so many different characters. I remember there was one guy that was like crazed or psychologically someone, but he operated, he had like some control over gravity, dimension, or something, like something that he was able to do. I think it's, I'm trying to remember what his name was. I don't know. It wasn't Sigma. I don't think it was, but yeah, they introduced a lot of characters. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that was really the last character. I know I heard a few new characters, but I don't know the order. Yeah, it was Doomfist, yeah. Yeah, no, they were adding a lot of new characters. I just haven't been in touch with Overwatch in a long time, so it's like I just been on my own doing things, you know. I know it was mentioned about Bitcoin earlier. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin stuff. I've heard of the Bitcoin fraudulent activities that were going on though. I just now thought about it because I didn't think about it earlier. So I was like, I didn't really know too much about what's going on with Bitcoin. It wasn't really like a topic or area of interest, but yeah, they had like fraudulent activities on YouTube and Twitter where somebody was hacking accounts and stuff and trying to exchange or extract Bitcoins, fraudulent activities, hacking through hacking. It was like a devastation for many channels, especially big name ones and stuff that got hacked. But some people like a username Roberto Blake, who helps YouTubers grow and YouTube channels and everything, provided details from a security person who's familiar with internet safety and securities and safe practices that you must do to secure your account and passwords and everything. They just pretty much said, hey, here's the steps, here's what you need to do to protect your account and your identity and everything. So I think I follow most of the steps, but I'll go back to it again. I think I took notes on it. But one thing I learned is don't use your don't use your if your YouTube account has like this is like mainly for people who produce content. If you're a viewer, you don't have to worry about it. But when someone is producing content, well, I mean, you might still be, but if someone is going to provide a business email for their YouTube channel, the recommendation is use a separate email outside of the one your channel is based on, because you have an email attached to your channel. So if you use like a separate email, you literally end up like stopping, like you prevent access to your channel because all they have is that email. They can't have access to the actual channel email. They only have some other email. So even if that other email gets messed around with, it's like, oh, well, too bad because you didn't get my channel. So, but you just have to be careful with emails. I hardly check email. When I do check email, I usually ignore like the ones that try to be telling me something or whatnot. And I'm like, no, I can tell you're probably spam or fraudulent. You get experience using the internet a lot. You get to tell patterns. Oh, I'm not talking too fast. I talk too fast. You're too fast, bruh. No, I'm not too fast. I'm sly. That's what it is. I'm sly. I'm not too fast. Coming from playing the 2 Bleach games and SAO 1, the Overlord approach to the game is really interesting as the story is original, while characters mostly same personality events from the original. Some don't happen. But not all the same personality events happen from the original, huh? So some don't happen, but the others do. Trying to go to sleep and watch me go to sleep on stream this late. This is EXP going to sleep now. Don't bother me, chat among yourself. Even if you're by yourself, you have an invisible buddy to talk to. So I'm going to sleep now. Maybe somebody go to sleep right there in the stream. Trying to see if there's I kind of like how I did my thumbnail. I was just looking back at it. It was like just me, like, yeah, you got the text right there. But it's like, you know, you get like a lot of different discussions, like, you know, thinking about anime to game adaptations. Now that you brought that up, that's a good topic to talk about right now. So I'm probably going to be on here for another 10-20 minutes or so. Not trying to go for 2 hours this time. I know 2 hours is the limit, so I'm probably going to end in like 20-30 minutes, just to give a heads up. But plus I got like an appointment later to get like a checkup. What was I gonna say? So like the anime to game adaptations, you know, you you get the opportunity to hear my thoughts about what I think about adaptations entirely. So first, let me just check to see something real quick. I just want to see. Um, but I just want to check something real quick. He said, I like the three main countries are in alliance against some mysterious and dangerous cracks that seem to be spawning and corrupting monsters. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm just checking out the volume with the music and everything. I can hear it. All right, good. Okay. So what I was gonna say is I did like a writing on a adaptation a long time ago, and it was about video game adaptations into movies. The same thing I will say with anime adaptation into video games, or some occasions it could be a video game adaptation, like you told me about the one of the like very first original Fate State was a game, and later on they started making animes out of it, and more anime and stuff. And then later on you had games like Fate Go, and it then had anime as well too. So it's like you got like mixtures of games, anime adaptations here and there. Movie, like even some anime are now even in Japan have been adapted into films. My thoughts about a lot of that, and you know, anime is being adapted into games, games out of anime, games being into films, adaptations. There were like 2 or 3 main points I said in that article a long time ago when I was talking about it, because I was looking at Mortal Kombat when it first became a movie back in like the 80s or like 90s, yeah, back in the 90s when I saw the first ever Mortal Kombat movie. I would say this: Mortal Kombat is like a movie. It works well when because the person who made it, they just said they just played the game to kind of that's all they said. Like they said, all they did to really help build the story and build the movie was to play the game. Now there are people who liked it. I actually liked it. Some people like it, some people don't, as always, but I actually liked it. I can say one of the things that really makes a adaptation really good is when you're still keeping elements and maintaining a connection with the original audience. You know what I mean? Because film is a different art form. It's a different form of entertainment and structure. It's different in the game. You're not controlling the characters, fighting this and doing all that. You can still see the story play out, but you're so interested in playing the game, you probably barely pay attention to the story as much, or you do sometimes. RPGs, you get the story, you get into the story, but when it comes to like some fighting, you're not like paying attention to the story as much. I hardly pay attention to the story of Mortal Kombat. I found it was interesting to hear a little bit of the story, but I hardly paid attention to it at all. So like it's just I just want to fight. I just want to do some fatalities. I just want to beat these guys. I want to knock these guys into spikes. That's how I was. But all they did was play the game, and they also made sure to pay attention to the story as they were playing. It was more of like you're getting to the feel of the original elements, story-wise, character-wise, understanding the characters in that world, to kind of then try to take that similar world experience from the game and bring it into a film, creating that world and then creating the whole scenarios that's happening. So then people know when they see it right there, yes, this is Mortal Kombat. They get it. So it's like you got your original audience's attention. That's number one, I think, is the very important thing, is when you got those elements and things that fits the original audience. I don't know if maybe you agree with me with that or not, Hasio. Maybe you have a different take, but that's how I feel. That's how I see it. Like, if you can capture what drove the audience that loves that series or so into it in the film, you have gotten that attraction going. Because then, even as you can bounce off of that and still attract other people that are new to the series. So it's important to make it where you're still going to attract the original audience more, but you want to still expand on it to get other people who are new to it to pay attention, that haven't played the game and stuff. I think number 2 is what's number 2? Number 2 is like the setting, the environment, the way you set up the world, the way you structure it in that story. Like, if you can do it so well that people will familiarize and understand it, you got a lot of general attraction as well. You got like people engrossed in it. Like, okay, this is that world. This is what it's like in this movie, and these are these characters, and you get the sense of these characters. You want to laugh when Johnny does something stupid, Johnny Cage. Like he tried to take his whole luggage and he got too much luggage on the boat, and he tried to get off it, but he fell right in the water. Like, well, you carrying too much, man. Come on, like. He's carrying way too much weight. Like, seriously. They even they poke a fun at him in the the animated movie with Scorpion, getting his revenge and stuff, and it was actually a tight animation. It was very recent, and they had Johnny Cage acting like how he would, as always, like, hey, someone call my agent. Hey, I like these shots, man. Hey, let me tell you, I'm Johnny Cage, man. Like, when you get that character playing out in an adaptation, you got that character right, the way they're supposed to, the way they're gonna react to that world, like, and everything. You got it. So, yeah, the characters, the way you set up the story, the way you get it with the original audience, and then of course the settings, how you arrange it well, the shots, so that way people can get a feel, understanding of that world with those characters. And then of course, I mean, I already said about the plot and everything. I don't know if I gave a third thing. I think it's just like, can you maybe like help people understand, it's like maybe like just helping people understand, like, hey, I'm just trying to look up something real quick. I might just have some music off for a little bit. I mean, like, just helping other people, or like, no, I'm trying to remember if I said a third thing. other than just having familiar elements, but being able to being able to translate it to another structure. That's one I say can be difficult unless you figure out a way to do it. If you can translate, because a game is different than a movie as is a TV series. They're all different. So if you can translate how those things go in their original form to another form really well to capture many of the similar elements, you might give a change here and there. I mean, of course, you're going to make some changes if you got to, because you're dealing with a different medium. But if you're able to do it well to where you're still maintaining your original audience, you're still getting true to the fans and still meeting out general people and others in the public that don't know that series, you got it. It's a lot of work, but there are some people who can do it very well, and there are some people I can say shouldn't even do it. I can tell you one that was the biggest disappointment, and I'm glad. I don't ever want to mention it. I don't even think about it, but I'll mention it once. The adaptation. It's the adaptation. I don't know, what was it? It came to my mind. I'm sorry, I was getting distracted a bit. What was it? I was about to mention it. I mean, yeah, they made changes, anime series and all that stuff, trying to make that trend. Oh yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender. When they tried to make an actual live movie of that, and it was what's his name? It was the one who made the Sixth Sense. I'm trying to remember his name. He does a lot of twists in his films. Oh yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan. Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan. Namala. But yeah, this is M. Night Shyamalan. I'm just messing around. I mess around with names sometimes, but he attempted to make Avatar: The Last Airbender, but in his it was terrible. Let's just say that. It's nothing you don't even want to remember. It's just in the back of the head, laying dormant, that it's the kind of adaptation, it's the one you can learn not to do when making an adaptation. I can tell you one of the most stupidest things have you ever seen. Let me know if you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. If you haven't, I'm surprised. Watch the original. But if you have, I'll just tell you one thing. Who in the world would make a scene where you have you didn't mind the movie or the series? You didn't mind it? I will tell you it is not a good movie, period. Unless you've seen the Avatar TV series, it's not a good movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you didn't mind it, okay, but I don't agree with it, because let me just tell you one thing. How is it that when you have earthbenders, yes, this was a scene. You have earthbenders. Earthbenders. In the animated series, in the movie, the way they did it is they were apparently okay, here we go. This is funny. They were, I guess, captive. No, they were captive. And they were on soil ground. They were on earth ground. They were on earth ground. I didn't know that you had low standards for enjoyments. I don't remember you telling me that. It might have been maybe like several months ago because I do not recall any of that. You have forgotten much of it. Right. You see, like, and when you say low standards for enjoyments, like, what are you referring to? Are you referring to, like, enjoyments regarding entertainment medium or anything at all? Because I don't know what you mean when you say low standards for enjoyments. Or is it just low standards for enjoyments of life? Because if that's the case, I don't get how you can enjoy your life if you're not enjoying it. Period. Like that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, if you're just talking about like movie, like what do you mean? Oh, you enjoy a lot of anime that people hate. Ah. Well, I don't know how many people hate the anime you're watching. So, I mean, because hey, we can like something that a large amount of people may not like, but some people like the anime that you like, even though there are some other people that hate it. It happens. That doesn't mean, but I don't translate it as you have low standards for enjoyments. Really, I don't translate that. I don't translate it that way. It doesn't make sense to say that. Because then it's best to say that you do have some things you enjoy, but it just may not be the ones that other people like. And when it comes to entertainment medium at the end of the day, what matters is how did you feel and how did you come to enjoy it for yourself at the end of the day. Because it's the same thing with video games, movies, TV series. Entertainment mediums and byproducts. When you engage in that thing, you're the one that gets to determine whether or not if you enjoyed it or not. You know. Not every movie, film, game, or anime is something for everybody to enjoy. Some people will enjoy what you enjoy. Some people will not. It happens. So it's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun about that. You know, despite where most people, and I don't know the number of most people, so I don't know how many, but I don't care. Because how many people hate it? I don't care if there's how many people that hate some games that I like. You know, that's just their opinion. I would understand why. Like, let me ask you why you don't like it. Like, why do you feel like it's not good to you? Sometimes you discover things. Like, some people may just have problems with different things, you know, and then maybe they're like, oh, well, maybe I might give it another chance. Everybody's different in their opinions, but sometimes when I talk to some people, it's like they reveal some other stuff, and it's like, well, but then why did you say you didn't like it? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, but I forgot. I enjoy a lot of anime that people hate. Like most isekai anime in general are hated by most people. I've enjoyed pretty most of them. Yeah. You know, anime, byproduct, entertainment mediums like anime, movies, and games, cinematics, all those types of things, even music. Although, like games, I mean, so it matters regarding on what is it that's your tastes that you enjoy the most. That means you have things that you enjoy at the end of the day. And you do have some light standards. So you have light standards. That means you still have some standards for yourself of what you'll enjoy. You know, you'll have things that you'll enjoy different than somebody else. And you say you play as a person named Homunculus, not as Ainz. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Gotta check that out. But one of the things I did want to get back to is like the Avatar situation. Earthbenders were held captive on Earth ground. This is the kind of thing that make Toph that if she came there, she'd go like this. She can feel it. She don't even have to see. She can feel it. It's like face palm. Why? Those earthbenders were acting like, oh, we got overpowered. We're overpowered. We can't do. And they're earthbenders. In the live movie, handcuffed. Okay. And I think the Avatar guy was there, and then they were talking to them, and then they started fighting. Now, this is got to be the most dumbest thing I've ever seen. The Earthbenders summoned. They did this little march stomp thing as a group, and they summoned this, this little rock. And you could tell it's like floating like this, and you hear like a sound going. It was like it was the most cheapest thing I've ever seen. I was like, what? And then they knocked it, and I'm like, y'all 4 of you did this little movement of bending movement to have some little rock float in the screen and someone knock it into a guard? That's how you did it? Oh, wow. If I were to say that's entertaining, it's entertaining out of I would say it's more entertainment out of stupidity. That's how I would say. There are people who can be entertained by stupidity. So because of certain scenes, the way they put it up. I said, I don't know. I need to see the scene again. It's been years for you, huh? I don't know if you were paying. Well, I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not insulted. I'm not going to insult. I mean, well, you probably weren't paying it. You weren't even paying attention, were you? Tisk tisk tisk. I say, nah. You would have to see the scene again. Because here's a difference between that scene and the animated one. In the animated one, the Earthbenders, when they were imprisoned by the Fire Nation soldiers, they were on a metallic ship by the Fire Nation. They had no access to Earth ground. They have no access to. I understand. Sometimes, I know sometimes you've told me in the past, or sometimes it takes time for you to remember stuff. So sometimes you might forget something, and then it's like, oh wait, no, wait, I don't remember this. No, I understand. The metal ship. They were on a metal ship. Yeah, so that I get it, because you don't recall. It's been years since you've seen. Look, Avatar: The Last Bender is a really great series. I remember it because I remember many of the scenes well, because I've enjoyed it so much. When you enjoy something so much, you tend to remember it more. But if you have a little difficulty remembering, sometimes I know there's different ways to get memory. But there was a group of Earthbenders that were in chains, and they were on a Fire Nation ship. And this ship didn't have any Earth ground, so they couldn't do any Earth bending at all. You can find the scene on YouTube. I bet someone did it. Watch. I wonder if someone did. Oh man, that would be great if someone actually did a comparison of the movie to the series to show where the scene with this movie just completely forgotten. That's why I said about adaptation. Completely ignored the original series' functions, world, and understanding, and everything. In several places. So this is one of them. Earthbenders, okay? Toph is one of them. Ground, soil, dirt, all that. They didn't have access to that on the ship in the cartoon. So there was no way they were going to do any earthbending. In the movie, there were earthbenders that were chained up, but they were on ground, earth, soil, dirt. This is the most obvious. I'm not going to say the word. I'll just say this is the most obvious screw up you can ever have in in any scene at all. You know, when you screw up stuff like that in especially an adaptation, you already are. Not only you already offended a lot of people who remember it well, but it's like you just rushed. You just put all this stuff, and they did a lot of explaining conversations in the movie and stuff where it was kind of like, can you show more stuff? It's like the way they handled, and then like of course the way they did the characters in the movie. There's a lot of things I don't even want to get into with that. But that's a really great example of what happens when you mess up an adaptation. Now some people will be like, well, I like it. I would ask them, okay, so tell me why you like it. They might have different reasons for liking it. Perhaps they might like it because, well, you know, at least they tried. That's great, they tried. That doesn't mean that they did many certain scenes well. And for a scene like that with earthbenders, was just only one iota of the many parts that they messed up on that I saw. Honestly, I was just like blown away. I'm like, why would you have imprisoned, chained earthbenders on Earth's soil acting like they can't do anything? You're earthbenders. Now, I don't know if that prison camp was earthbenders, full earthbenders, because the earthbenders, but that depends on if the prison camp had earthbenders. You remember a prison camp in Avatar and it had ground, but was it earthbenders? Unless those earthbenders were so beaten to the point where they couldn't even think they could do anything, which would make it even more crazy, then that would be more of a psychological beating situation. Then that would be, okay, so psychologically they can't see the thing. But the earthbenders in the movie, they suddenly were like, oh, okay, we could do something about it. And it was just like, and it only lasted it was only like a few seconds. Like, that's how long it took. And I'm like, wait, you got earthbenders prison on Earth's soil. And then, oh, wait, in a few seconds, now they're encouraged to do something? When they could have done it, like, several minutes ago before they got on the island. They would have handled it. Even if they did get a little beat up, but their advantage is that they're on ground. Like, that's why I'm like going like this. Like, sometimes there can be some crazy ideas or crazy transitions or creations that can just sound a little off. I don't remember them catching. Okay, surprising one thing I can take pride in remembering is layouts of stuff in WoW, especially dungeons. I know WoW has been like, that was like the one thing you did, like the WoW dailies. I can tell you'll remember that a lot. Yeah, the prison camp thing, unless the prison camp was earthbenders being imprisoned and it had ground, the question is like, where were they at? And I would have to go back and see that scene because I don't recall that ever happening. I recall earthbenders actually on a ship, and when that happened, chained up, they had no access to ground. It was only when the Avatar, the boy and And some of them, like when they figured out a way to help the Earthbenders get access to the ground. I think because they brought like some dirt stuff. They brought something. They did something where they were able to finally do some earthbending, but it took some time. I think it was like in one episode. Yeah. Yeah, just because they had a ground doesn't mean that it was Earthbenders that were in prison. If it was Earthbenders in prison, I'm like, well, where were they imprisoned at? Were they access to the ground, or were they in somewhere where they couldn't get access to it? Like, that's another thing I have to think about. Because throughout that show, a lot of the Earthbenders, when you see their Earthbending, it's like they can take on the fire, and they like it's like, oh yeah, we can extinguish your fire, we can bust you up. Like Earthbenders were no joke. But like for real, when it came to like a prison place, it had to be off the earth for it to work, not to work. Otherwise, they can't do any earthbending. What was I gonna say? I think there's something else. But I saw that movie Avatar. That one was like very poor, worst example of adaptation. Adaptation. But at the end of the day, like, so you know, various taste out there, but like I chosen to not, like, I just recall that one now, but I chosen not to want to think about that one because of what I was exposed to with that one. I think it would work for someone who probably is not familiar with the Avatar series at all. Maybe it could be just seen as a general movie, but it still has scenes like that where the Earthbenders were literally outside on the ground, supposedly chained up, summoning a small string-like rock and then punching it. I'm like, that's all you did. Come on, folks. I mean, that one is the most obvious. There's many more, but that was like the most obvious screw-ups I've ever seen. And to justify it, you can't justify it. I don't care if somebody try to justify it. Like, no, you can't justify that. You're just. Some people could be just offended. It's like, okay, but at the end of the day, you really can't justify that. Like, just a way to tell people off. Like, okay, well, you can go about your merry way. Like, you know, I have my likes, you know. But there are things that are clearly seen in movies and stuff. Like, you could tell, like, things clearly seen in movies and stuff where you're just like, or even many people can agree. Like, okay, that scene did not even add up, period. Like, why did they do that? Like, what? And it's so obvious. When it's blatantly obvious, I just know, they screwed up. What's the one other thing I wanted to say? Because I'm about to go ahead and go. What do I want to talk about? The last thing. Yeah, so this one's at my art stream. Oh, let me see what other music we have. I think, like, when it comes to, let me go to my library. Yeah, I'm going to play that one.
That's the stuff. No, really. Those are the actual.
I really don't know anything else to talk about, and I have like Oh wait, let me just show something real quick. Hold on. Check it out. Yep, yep. So you got Rukia, you got Ichigo. So I have those. Just a sec. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Yeah. So like, so Rukia, kapow, kapow. So I have these like on my little bedposts. So it's like, kind of got like the head movement here and there, but yeah, I got these like at I think I got like an anime convention and stuff. So it's like, I just have them sitting up there. You know what I mean? I don't know if you collect. You collect a lot of merchandise there, Hot Sale 28, or a Hot Sale, yeah, Hot Sale. You collect. You know, I only got like these two. I had like a little keychain piece of Grimjow and everything. Yeah. You said I was wrong? Oh, about the prison camp thing? Because I know the series came out like years ago and everything and all that, so... Is that what you're referring to? The prison camp thing or the film scene? Oh wait. Did you check out the film scene or something? Oh, about the revolt? Oh. Okay. Right. Yeah, yeah, when I because, you know, I gave that movie a chance, and you know, and I watched it. And, you know, I haven't watched this series, and then getting an opportunity to watch the movie because I wanted to, you know, check it out for myself. There were many positives, negatives with that movie, but when they did that whole thing with the Earthbender scene, and this was just one of many things they did, but so I'm only talking about one thing. But when they did that with the Earthbenders, and then when you go back to the series, it's like, wait a minute. They're on Earth solid ground. Why would they be at a disadvantage? Why would they act like they're overpowered? They're on Earth ground. You know? It's that kind of thing. Like, it's those... You know, that's why, you know, there's only certain people that can make decisions when it comes to films. And some of them, you know, you look at it, when it comes to film adaptation and everything, you're dealing with a different conceptualized mind. Creativity might be perceived differently from someone else than the original creators and developers and such. So, like, those people might want to take their creativity in some other way. So I see the Lions and Middle Shipping cartoon and the one that took place after Zuko joined Aang. Ah. Right. Yeah, it's yeah, the waterbender. The waterbending, yeah, that one was, you know, it's like, and it's been a while. I remember seeing it before, I just have to go back to my mind bank or just find the scene. Yeah, the water bending. Oh my. Yeah, it was just the earth bending parts. It was just like, really? They were on a metal ship in the cartoon. But like, when it came to the live action, it's like, oh, they're on earth ground. Yeah, the tsunami. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't have many good parts. There were some good parts, and there were some parts just like that. It was like, oh my gosh, really? Is that right, guys? Like, right. Say, yep, that's correct. Still let me playing with some toy like this. Someone come here like, weeb! I know funny, before it was, someone used to be called like otaku, and then later on they started saying like things like weeaboo and weeb. I remember first time hearing weeaboo, and I remember that was, yeah, like it was referring to someone who was so, like, they're not Japanese or anything, but they're so engrossed. So in the cartoon, when they were given dirt, they were still hesitant. And was that on the metal ship? Because if that was on the metal ship, I would say it was a psychological thing as well. When it came to a metal ship, the difference in the movie is that they were literally on Earth ground in the live movie. But when it came to the cartoon, yeah, when they came to the cartoon, I can understand, like, they were on the metal ship so much, discouraged so much. It's like, even when the little ground dirt was given to them, it's like they were still like, well, I mean, they're kind of like, because it was only so little much dirt, so they were kind of feeling like, well, we unless we have more dirt, or unless we, like, it was also psychological. They were not in their, like, inhabitations, so to speak, like, so to speak. But yeah, when it came to the movie, they were literally right on the ground that they know they can bend. So it was just, but it was just the way it was done. It was just like, it didn't add up, and it was just like, really? And then you had them like a small rock, like what? Now Toph, she was definitely on a different level. And she didn't even see to do any. She didn't even need to see you. She could feel you. You know, that's why she was barefoot a lot. You know, so because she has to feel. She can sense you through the earth. Dude, there were like there were some jokes with Toph that they kept doing throughout the series. There was one where they went into a landed in like a dark underground cave or structure, and it was so dark they couldn't see. And what was his name? Was it Sokka? The brother? I think it was the brother of what's her name? But the funny guy. He said, what did he say? He said, yeah, he said, oh yeah, yeah, if it was season 3 Toph, because she started doing metal bending, she would definitely wreck him up. Definitely. But like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, they landed in a dark, and what did they say? Was it Soccer or something? I don't remember his name. He said he was like, oh my god, I can't see. And then Toph heard that, and she's like, ooh, scary. And he apologized. Oh, sorry. If you get the joke, you kind of get why that was funny, because she's blind, so it's like she can't see anything. So so when Sokka did that, it was just like, what? It was just like almost like making fun of that, like. So she responded like, ooh, it's scary, I can't see. It's like, oh, sorry, Toph. Yeah, it's like they forget that she's blind, so they make statements like that. It's like, oh, as if you guys think that's scary. Like, because she's blind, she's been blind since she was a kid, little kid. Come on. It's like darkness her. She can't see. I know there was one where they were trying to put up some posters or something, and then yeah, right, yeah. They were trying to put up some posters, and Toph was and they didn't want Toph to put up the posters for a good reason, right? And she's like, no, come on, I can help. And then she just took the paper slash and boom, put it on the wall. Everyone is staring at her, and it's like, because it was upside down. She's like, oh, it's upside down, is it? Because they didn't want her to put it up because she can't see. They were even on a desert place, and they were on the flying creature. I don't remember his name, the little pet of Aang's, and they were trying to find the location, and then she volunteered. She's like, oh, and it is right over there. And they were looking, they're not seeing anything, and they're like, Tom, I don't know if they tried to ask her or something. I'm trying to remember who it was. He's like, it's not there. It's like, oh, right. They kept doing stuff like that, jokes around it, her blindness that way. It was just like, what? Like, yeah, that was funny, man. Like, yeah, that was funny. Like, ooh, scary. And he's like, oh, sorry. Because, yeah, of course, it's like darkness to her. She can't see anything. Like, all she can do is feel and sense through her body what's going on. And she learned to bend really well doing that. So she's pretty much became a very strong, astute, very precise, well-established earthbender. Like, she knew how to fight earthbending without seeing anything. So, but that's why she tends to expose her feet. Like, if she was wearing some shoes or something covering her top feet, she would remove the soles at the bottom, so then she can walk around with her bare feet at the bottom and feel what's going on. But when it comes to sand, that sandy area, that one would be a little difficult. Yeah. Well, it's already an hour and a half, so I'm thinking one thing, yeah, that tsunami part with the water, yeah, that's tight. What was I gonna say? I know I like the fights later on too, especially with what's her name doing a lot of the water bending and how her water bending skills improved later. She was able to stop, like, I don't know if it was raining or if there was water thrown in there, but she was able to stop it in midair because she encountered like this one firebender who got older that was responsible for it was responsible for the death of her mother. So she was going to take her vengeance on him. I'm trying to remember if it was Zuko that stopped her, or it was someone that was there that stopped her from killing him or whatnot. Yeah, she was going to do it. I know she learned a little bit of blood bending too because of that. I remember the episode of the bloodbender lady. She was a waterbender and she learned to blood bend. That was sick. I mean, to bend blood, to control you like that through blood, that was... And then the girl eventually was able to bloodbend, and the old lady was smiling. It's like, yes, I got you to learn it. So she was able to pass on a bit of the bloodbending to that girl. Yeah, I was just trying to look up something. He said soccer. Yeah, wasn't that like that scene where yeah, the girl who then it was the girl with the white hair, right? Like that, the same thing that happened. Like I think it's the same thing that happened in the animated series. The girl with the white hair who ended up, yeah, he fell in love with her, but then yeah, Princess Yui. Yeah, I was looking it up. That's right. I think that's actually supposed to be similar. See, there were some parts where they at least did were like similar to the. I think it was similar to the cartoon, if I recall. Yeah, so they did that scene. Yeah, the revolt scene. Oh my gosh, that was so terrible. But yeah, Princess Yui. Yeah, I remember that, man. It was so sad. I was glad to see those both, but still, like, um, now I know the way they did Sokka in the live film. You know, I had no problem with whether he looked like this or that or any of that nature. It was more so along the lines of how they did his character, and now there are many ways to do a character. So, you know, it's not like he had to be completely quirky, funny, with the female warriors with the one Sokka felt. I don't think they did the village with the female. Oh, with the female warriors. Yeah, I know. I don't think they did that in the live movie. Yeah, the female warriors with the paint on their faces. Yeah, I don't think they did that one. Yeah, that one main girl with the paint on her face. Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, they didn't do that. I know. I don't think they did that one. I don't recall that. Um, I think it's just the way they did his character. Like, there are ways you can do a character, but my response to his character is that, you know, while I don't mind a little seriousness, but at the same time, if the kind of character that he is in the series is not translated well to the live movie, then I can say you destroyed that character. Um, so, in my opinion, it's like Sokka's character is a little bit of this, a little bit of that for me. I would say like they, to me, veered. Well, even from observation, veered way off from how he was in the cartoon. Not that they have to do him all 100% comical, but and quirky, but if they were able to make a balance, if it was a balance where you could still get the familiarity of his character from the original, but still recognize his seriousness, then they understood him. I just don't think he understood the character Sokka. That's why that's what I'm saying. To make him the way he did. But the Princess Yui scene was still true to. I believe that was still true to the cartoon series and everything. So I had no problem with that scene. I think it's just there's plenty of different scenes where it's just like, where it really like. Yeah, like he's meant to be like a gag character, right, with little battle value. You know what I mean? So in a way, it's like I know they made an attempt to, when it comes to conceptual changes, they made an attempt to bring him in a more of a serious light, or so to speak, where they tried to do it. But to me, it's like it veered off from how his gag personality is, and it's like more so this guy's either way too serious or I just don't really have that connection to how he was in the series, and I didn't. Like, this is Sokka, I didn't have that much connection to him than I did in the series. So it's like when you do stuff like that, like to me, that's why I say, like, you know, everyone has their opinions about what they think about adaptations, whether they like it or love it or hate it, but or despise it or just love it entirely or think it's a masterpiece. But which I don't think this is a masterpiece, but but at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna base a, even if you decide to give a little alteration to like a certain character from a series, I would say, like, don't do it so much that it veers off the rails of how that character was in the series. Then that same connection you would have with that character would be gone. That's how I felt with him. It's like, okay, I can get the sense where you're trying to get him a little more serious, but it's not like he was that serious. So it's like you kind of veered off from how his character was. You know, if you wanted to create a balance, at least work out how that character would function to get that balance going. Instead, you're just like, oh, let me just do, like, don't, no. So, I know a little later I'll probably have to, yeah, so I'm about ready to get going because it's 2v2. Okay, so I think I'll just end on that note. Yeah, he's a gag character. I like his funny antics and everything, man. Like, I'm like, they changed Sokka the way they did, and it's like, really? It's just, you know, it's just sometimes people just have different concepts, different creativity values for what they think should be changed and what should remain. But sometimes it could be in disagreement, or it can be a way that you know is going to disappoint if it takes it too far away from where the character's value was. Then you really destroy it. You ruin that character, and you ruined it for the fans. You ruined it for those that recognize that character very well. So it tends to happen when decisions like that are made. But all in all, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream because it's about to be 3 o'clock. So because I gotta go somewhere to get a checkup anyway. I've been having some interesting issues of swelling. It hasn't been anything like major, thank God. I know it's not the Rona, so no. But it is a little something that I can get it checked out and see what's going on. Alright, so see you later, Haseo28. And anyone else that came and stopped by for a little bit, leave a like, consider subscribing. You can see more streams like this. Schedule's in the description, and I'll try to update the schedule in the About section. I'm going to have to update that. Okay, so you take care. God bless y'all. Peace out.